Are you just clapping because I'm the last one? Come on. There we go. So imagine that I am the last one. My passion in life is imagination. And for Jane's sake, I'm going to imagine that the iPod no longer exists in 5 years from now. And I'm actually willing to make that prediction, that starting next year, the sales of iPods will start to go down. Unfortunately, there's a black cloud coming at you, Jane. There's smart devices that'll make it much easier for them to access all sorts of media. And there'll be, people that will come up with different aggregators that will jump all the walls that the media companies put there in the way. So, what I'm going to talk about is the power of imagination, because I think everyone up on this stage tonight has used it. Doesn't matter how, they've just used it. So for me, if I imagine something, I know what it looks like. So for me, the path is not following a dream to where I'm going, it's walking backwards. And I'm pretty adept at walking backwards, although I do stumble and fall down quite a lot. So if I know what it looks like, then all I really need to do is create it. And if you think back 25 years ago, 26 years ago, I imagined music that I loved. Unfortunately, that music was not on the radio. There's nothing against, what was on the radio at that time, which would have been Bryan Adams and Anne Murray. Very, very talented people, but not what I loved. So Network was started simply with the thought of releasing music that we love. Now, when I told someone that we love this music, they're like, you what? No, you can't use the word love, because it won't work. I'm like, well, I love it, and we're going to do it. So we put on blinders. And 26 years in, we've had a lot of success releasing music that we love. When we started Lilith Fair back in 1996, although it was official in 1997, we imagined a female festival of female artists, because at that point, to go to an earlier point, maybe 1 out of every 100 artists on a music festival was female. Now that didn't represent the audience that went to those festivals, but that's what the promoters and what radio at the time played, and radio still plays, for the better part, more male than female. So we imagined a festival of female headliners. And everybody went, you're nuts. Like, no, we know exactly what it looks like. And for 3 years, that festival raised over $10 million and was the biggest festival, traveling festival, in the world. Simply imagine it. And if you believe in it, you will make it real. So if I go back, let's say, 4 or 5 years ago, I was trying to imagine a yoga studio that I'd like to practice in. And traveling the world, I could change in closets, change in hallways, go to a yoga class, come out, not know what to do. And I went, okay, I love this, I love what it does for me, and I love the health benefits of it. But talk about putting every barrier in the way to doing one of the most healthy, addictive things that we possibly can. And so that's where raw yoga came from. But it came from a napkin. It came from sitting in Eastasi's, which is this amazing Indian restaurant, Indian Afghani restaurant up on Broadway, and talking with my teacher at the time, Lara, and going, this is what I imagine a wellness studio to be. This is what I imagine a yoga studio to be. And we drew it out. And then we kind of parted ways, and then about 3 months later I said, hey, come on in. I had that blood-sucking PowerPoint to show her about what it looked like. And it's the last time that I used that PowerPoint. I don't like PowerPoints, just like there's nothing really behind me. I just like talking. And that was the foundation of why yoga. But we came at it from a different point of view. We came at it from creating social third spaces, creating community for like-minded people. Those were some of the earlier mantras behind it. It wasn't about being twisted up like a pretzel. Because if I show you a picture of someone twisted up like a pretzel, you will not want to practice yoga. You won't. I definitely wouldn't. I was so inflexible when I started yoga, I couldn't touch my toes. I was going to the chiropractor every 6 weeks. It's funny, about a year into yoga, I get this postcard in the mail from my chiropractor going, where have you been? Brilliant. I'd been practicing yoga and I hadn't realized that my lower back pain was gone. It was gone from my life. I absolutely love that. So it was very easy to imagine, being free of lower back pain. So I'm quite sure that you all can. And actually doing something that you actually love. Now, how does music and yoga relate to each other? That's a hard one. But with imagination, you can actually get there. The music business has for 11 years been in recession. And I don't know of any business that's been in recession for 11 years. I'm walking over to my counter, I've got 1:24 left. So 11 years in, the music business is at a tipping point. For some reason, the value of music has been associated to 99 cents. Well, music is a bunch of ones and zeros. We're in the digital age. It seems that for the last 11 years, the zeros have been beating out the ones. Because 95% of all music consumed is actually pirated. The great thing about that is all those downloads are about to become junk. Because we're moving from the age of content to the age of context. Downloads will be over, just like vinyl was over, just like cassettes were over, just like CDs are waning and soon to be over. So downloads are about to go away, as such iPods are about to go away. We move to context. And all why yoga is taking a very spiritual and wellness practice and adding a different context to it. And showing you how good it is for you, and how communal it is for you, how tribal it is for you. And music's very, very tribal too. So that's that deep connection for me. The music with Inside the Yoga came about me lying exhausted and humbled in a sweaty pool after yoga class, and this deep voice comes on and starts this melodic chant. And then I find myself at home humming that melodic chant. And then I went to try and find out who that artist was. And I couldn't find it. Couldn't find the artist. Couldn't find the music in any music store. And that's when it goes opportunity. Music, yoga, I see a lot of opportunity. Imagine if you could find that music really easy after the yoga class. And I think my time is pretty much up. 29 seconds. What can I say in 29 seconds? Imagine a beautiful evening, just what you've had here. Imagine the fact that a year ago, the Olympics were on. And some craziness was happening at my studio due to this man right here, where we had free yoga for 17 days. Who could ever imagine offering free yoga for 17 days when there's so many extra people in your city drinking a lot of beer? But that's what we imagined, and on that note, namaste and good night.